welcome to my channel. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl, Good Girl Gone Locked. And today I'm coming at you with a video about lock extensions. I am about 7.5 months into my lock journey, and I've decided that I'm going to install some temporary lock extensions. Now, I know lock extensions are kind of taboo in the lock community, and rightfully so. I can totally see how people feel like it's cheating, or it's not a part of the journey, it's not a part of the process or whatever. But I personally only have a problem with lock extensions when the person is lying and perpetrating like it's their real hair and it's really not. Other than that, I don't care. It's your journey, it's your life. Do you, boo-boo. I don't care. But I have decided that I'm going to install some lock extensions. Now, these are permanent lock extensions because I am using 100% human hair, but they are going to be temporary for me. I'll probably only keep them in for like a month or so. Really, the only reason I'm installing them is because I've got a couple things, coming up at the end of the month, and like my hubby's birthday's coming up. We're probably going to be taking pictures and whatnot. And I miss my length. Like, I started my locks with bra strap length, loose, natural hair. So living in this shrunken world where my locks are like up here when I'm used to my hair being down here, I miss my length. It's the length for me. Like, I just want that length back in my life for a little bit. So, some people might not like it. Some people might not understand it. I mean, okay, but I got to do what makes me happy, and I'm going to do what I want to do. So if that offends you, sorry, not sorry. But anyway, let's get into these lock extensions. So I have already started making some of the extensions this morning. Now, these are custom extensions, meaning that I have not pre-made any of these locks. I am making them as I go along, customized for each of my locks. So what I do is take a lock down from my bun, and I look at the thickness, the width, the texture, and I basically create a customized lock for my natural lock. Now, I started my locks with 2-strand twists. So as you can see, they're not smooth. They're a little lumpy bumpy, and that's fine with me. I don't care. I feel like that adds character to my locks. So I don't care about having any kind of smooth texture or perfectly rounded or anything like that. So I look at all of that, and then I basically create a lock and I attach it. And I will show you guys how to do that later on in the video. Now, normally I can spot a person with lock extensions a mile away. Like, even the best lock extensions, sometimes you can just tell. So it's really important for me to make sure that my lock extensions match my lock, my natural lock. So as you can see, they're not perfect. They're not smooth. They got some lumps and bumps in there. And the color matching is also really important. So I have grown out color in my hair, and I think it was like some dark and lovely color that I put in my hair like 1.5 years ago, and it's just been growing out. But it very closely matches a color number 4. So I went and I got some number 4 bulk natural bulk AFRO bulk kinky hair, and I ordered it from His and Her Hair Company, and I'll put all that stuff in the description box below, and I'll be sure to show you guys the hair when I get to the part about the tutorial. So as you can see, my hair comes down to about here, and it is the exact same color as the lock extension. Different lighting so you can see, but this is my natural lock. It already has some length to it because, like I said, I started with bra strap length hair, and my hair is just really shrunken right now, so it comes down to like my shoulders in this state. So I've added, you know, about double the length just to kind of get it back to the length that I'm used to. And I will go ahead and show you guys how I am creating the extensions and installing them. So stay tuned. Okay, so what you're gonna need to make your lock extensions is some AFRO Kinky bulk hair. This hair is from hisandherhair.com in the color number 4. And for my purposes, since I'm just adding some length to the bottom, I ordered 4 of these. I didn't feel like I needed much more than that just to add the length to the bottom. If you are doing, you know, full head extensions or like really long extensions, you're going to need to order more hair. You'll also need some crochet hooks. I actually bought these in a 3-pack. It comes with the 1-prong needle, a 2-prong needle, and a 3-prong. But I really only use the 1 and the 2. Or the 1 and the 3, excuse me. So I use the 3-prong when I'm actually forming the extension because it grabs more hair. And then I use the 1-prong when I'm attaching to go in and kind of tighten everything up. So, give you an example of creating a custom extension and attaching it. So I've got this lock here. I'm going to create an extension for it. Now, most people, when they're doing lock extension, they'll like comb out the end of the lock, and the lock extension is already pre-made, and they'll like make this little braid and braid the lock extension together, and then they wrap hair around and crochet it. I don't do that. I'm not doing that mainly because, like I said before, these are temporary. I don't have any intention of keeping them in for very long, so I don't need to do all that extra securing and tightening. The way that I do it, I feel is secure enough for me, and since I'm not leaving them in long term, I don't need that extra added security that a braid adds. And I don't want to have to go through the process of taking a braid out and whatever when I get ready to take the extensions out. So what I do is, like I said, look at the lock that I'm about to add an extension to. I look at the thickness, the size, and I kind of determine how much hair I need to break off. So you break it off from the bundle. Now this much hair will probably yield a smaller lock, and since this lock is a little bit on the thicker side, I'm going to add a little more hair to it. So got about this much hair that I'm going to use to make this lock extension. Now I got, what length is this? This length is 8 inches. I believe they do have longer inches of this kinky hair, but I didn't need that much because I'm not adding that much length to my hair. So when I detach it from the bundle and it's like this, it's already the perfect length for me to get it how I want it. So what I do is I kind of bunch it together. If I can bunch that together. Then I come in with my 3-prong, taper off a little bit of hair at the top. This is what I'm going to leave out to attach to my natural lock. Come in with the 3-prong and start going in. And I usually go down the length of it and just kind of start to form the shape, like a general shape. So I just keep going in and out. Now the key for me is turning the hair around as I go. If you don't, then you're going to end up with like this weird looking strand of lock. Turning it helps to create the shape of the lock. So I turn as I go. So with that first pass, as you can see, the lock is already starting to take shape. So with the second pass, I'm going through making it a little bit more solid. So I make my strokes a little shorter and a little harder to really kind of get in there and grab these hairs. Pull them around to the other side. Make sure I'm turning as I go. And I don't want to grab too much just because, like I said, I don't want the lock to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfectly cylindrical. I don't want it to be perfectly round. I want it to have some little lumps and bumps in there and some imperfections so that it matches my natural lock. Now, when you get to the ends, usually it's a little frayed, so I'm going to round them off. Now, usually, as you can see, it's a little tighter. Tightened it up a little bit. This is the lock that I'm attaching it to, so I kind of do a comparison. I feel like I need to do one more pass to get it right. So now I feel like the thickness is right. It's pretty consistent. It's sturdy. It's got some nice spring to it. Might go back in a little bit more just to make it a little more solid on the inside so that it has, you know, some drop. It has some weight to it. It's not just flailing around in the wind. Actually, I don't need this much hair left out. I don't like to leave that much hair out at the top because, again, these are temporary. I don't feel like they need to be that securely attached. So the ends of most of my locks were left curly, so they're not locked at the ends. I'm not going to comb that out. What I'm going to do is take the lock extension and place it over the end of the lock. So this is my real lock. I'm gonna put that there. And I wrap the loose hair. So this is the end of my natural lock. You can see it kind of overlaps the extension a little bit. And first I go in with the 3-prong and I kind of secure it there. Going up the shaft, in and out, turning it as I go. And you can see it's kind of attached. So I'll probably go up and do that a couple more times just to make sure it's on there good. So it's pretty much attached. And what I'll do is go back in with the single hook and kind of bring in some of the last strays. And as you can see, my natural lock was already frizzy because I'm still pretty much in the, you know, baby / teenager stage. And that's it. Sometimes I'll give it a little twirl, but honestly, it's not really needed. And I'm pulling on it. It's not going anywhere. Now, normally what happens is after a few washes or so, the locks will start to slip. That is by design. It makes it easier to take them out. Since they are temporary, once they start to slip, I will just slide it right on off. And since the ends of my natural locks are curly, well, most of them are still curly, all I'll need to do is take my little comb and curl them back up, and they will go right back. But so that's basically it. That is how I do my custom locks. As you can see, the thickness of that particular lock is on point. The lumpiness, you know, the color, everything. So I feel like I said, that's really important to make them look as natural as possible. Even though these are going to be a temporary situation, they're not anything I'm keeping it in long term, they're still on my head. I still want them to look good while I have them in. So I will come back when I am done with my whole head and let you guys see how it looks. I have 108 locks and I've done 9. So I have 99 more to go. Hey guys, so I'm back. I have finished installing the temporary lock extensions. And this is how they look. It actually took me a couple of days to complete the install because I was running around doing errands and stuff. So this is how they're looking. Back. So they actually came out really, really good. I'll probably wash them and style them. I'll more than likely just do like a braid out or something, but they turned out really good. I might layer them a little more in the front. We'll see. But they look super natural. You honestly can't tell where my actual natural lock ends and the lock extension begins. So hopefully this video has helped you if you were thinking about doing some lock extensions, whether they be temporary or permanent. You can utilize the same technique. If you do want them to be permanent, you'll need to do a little extra securing, but for the most part, the premise of constructing the lock is the same. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Good Girl Gone Locked, same as my YouTube name. Thanks, you guys. Have a great one.